What's going on, guys? So today we're gonna be doing another tier list. Yeah, I know, very original, I know, of Marvel Rivals characters, but this time we're gonna be ranking them on difficulty. So from easiest to hardest, easiest being Brain Dead, obviously, medium difficulty. I'm pretty sure I spelled that correctly. And hardest is gonna be obviously the hardest, the most difficult characters to play, and we're just gonna get right into it. Starting with Adam, obviously, it's going alphabetical order. And Adam Warlock is actually pretty tough. He's not the hardest healer in the game, but he's definitely one of the hardest. It's all about aim, all about being able to use your cooldowns at the right time. Because his healing is actually pretty tough. He doesn't get a lot of healing, so you're gonna need to savor it until you actually really need it. He can do so much damage if you're good with his primary fire and his charge up fire, whatever it is. You need to know when to soul bond, and his ult can be pretty tough at times. You need to really know when to ult with this character, or you're gonna start feeding. So I'm gonna put him in hard. Like I said, he's not the hardest support character, but we'll get to that eventually. And next up we have Black Panther, and this is, in my opinion, the toughest character in the game. You need to manage so many cooldowns. You need to know when to get in, when to get out. His ultimate does not do him any favors. His ultimate is not one of the better ones. You need to know when to dash in, because it's all about getting that next dash with your combo. The combo is pretty tough. Overall, it is a really tough character. Definitely the most tough character in my opinion. And yeah. So next up we have Black Widow. And I don't know, Black Widow's just kind of a point and click. I think for most of the characters that kind of depend on mostly aiming, I'm going to be putting them in medium difficulty. But yeah, she's just kind of, I don't know, she's not really that hard to use. Her ult's pretty easy to use. It's all about uh aim, and that's kind of the whole character. So I'm going to be putting her in medium difficulty. Now next up we have Cap, and Cap is actually one of the harder tanks in my opinion. It's all about staying alive, and obviously it's pretty easy to stay alive, but it's all about, because he doesn't really do that much damage. It's about being annoying to your enemies, knowing when to go into their backline, when to get out, when you're about to die. It's pretty easy, just kind of pop it and basically stay alive forever, it feels like. I don't know, he's pretty tough to get into, but I'd say he's pretty easy to master, if that makes sense. So, I'm gonna be putting him in somewhat hard. Yeah, I think somewhat hard. Again, he's one of the harder tanks in the game. Still definitely not that hard, but in my opinion, there's not really that many hard characters in this game. But yeah, it's just my opinion. Oh, sorry, my opinion. Next up we have Cloak and Dagger, and Cloak and Dagger, everyone knows that she is absolutely brain dead. The easiest healer in the game. Don't even at me. She literally has auto aim twice. She has basically two auto aims. She has auto aim with Cloak and one with Dagger. Her ult's really easy to use, except the only tough part about it is knowing when to get out if they have a Magneto ult. That's really the only thing that I can think of that's like kind of tough to use about her. She's pretty simple. Basically like a 3-year-old could probably use her and get some pretty decent value out of her. I don't know. Definitely the easiest support in the game. And yeah. Next up we have Dr. Stephen Strange. Strange is actually recently he's been tough because he hasn't been the best, but I'd say that he's not really that tough when you really get used to him. The portals can kind of be tough, I guess, for some reason. Like it feels like sometimes my teammates like somehow fuck up the portal. I don't know how they do, but they do. His ult's pretty Actually, his ult's pretty tough to use if they have another shield on their team. Like if they have another Strange, if they have Magneto, it can be tough knowing when to get in, when to get out. But I don't think he's really that hard. I mastered this guy in pretty much a few games. Basically, he's not really that tough to get into. I'm gonna put him in medium difficulty. We have Groot next, and Groot is probably harder than Captain America to get into, I'd say. It's all about knowing when to when to use your Iron Wall, how to use it. Obviously, his Iron Wall is definitely the toughest part of his kit, because you need to know when to use it and how it can be so beneficial to you and your teammates. Because it gives you free shield, and yeah, his ult can be somewhat difficult. I need to know how to use the ult, how to use the how to put and when you use it, you put a wall behind him, then you throw the fucking whatever the hell it is, basketball, like I said last episode, at him. But yeah, I think he's actually pretty tough. He's one of the harder tanks in the game. I'm gonna put him in hard. Next we have Hawkeye, and I think this is pretty much a similar spot to Black Widow. It's all about the aim. Obviously, you can get tons of value out of him if you're really good at aiming to the head. You can one shot almost every squishy in the game, I'd say. It's not tough at all. You just shoot where they're going. You don't even need to aim really. What else does he have in his kit? He has a storm arrow from Hanzo. Whatever. That's pretty easy, I'd say. I'd say that he's a pretty medium difficulty character just because of how much it kind of depends on your aim. And next up, we have a very similar situation as Hela. Now, Hela, I'd say, is more difficult than Black Widow and Hawkeye, just because you need to know when to get out of there, and she has more cooldowns to think about. Her getaway isn't the best, so you gotta make sure to be using that whenever you can, but it's still not the best. Again, just basically aiming. If you're good at aiming, you're gonna get a ton of value with this character, and Hela is one of the better characters in the game right now, so I'd say that bumps her up a little bit. I'm gonna put her in medium difficulty. Now next up we have Hulk, aka Bruce Banner, and Bruce Banner is the toughest tank in the game, for sure. He is already not the best tank in the game. He's probably one of the worst ones, and people really only use him because of the Namor team-up. You need to know when to get in, when to get out. His ult is not that easy to use. It's all about managing your cooldowns, managing your bubbles with your teammates, and yeah, I'd say that he's pretty tough. Basically, when you go into Bruce Banner mode, it's basically a 99% chance you're gonna die, and you're not gonna get back into Hulk mode. He's pretty tough. He's definitely the toughest the toughest tank in the game, so I'm gonna be putting him in hard mode, or hard category, sorry. Next, I don't know why these are Lord icons, by the way, but just don't mind them. Next we have Human Torch, and I'm actually been a big Human Torch fan recently. I've been trying to get him Lord. I'd say that he's actually pretty tough to get into. It's not very easy to aim with this character. Maybe that's just me, but he's not very easy to use and get lots of value out of. You need to know how to use his combos, how to use the fire wheel thing, when to use the fire like square thing. I guess this is probably not the best description of this character. But you need to know when to block off areas. It's all about creating space with this character. His ult is not the easiest to use ever, unless you have a Groot ult with it. But yeah, he's definitely one of the tougher heroes in the game. I'm gonna put him in somewhat hard, because again, he's not the hardest. I got used to him in probably about like a few days. It's really not that hard to play. And yeah, next up is Emma Frost, and I don't want to hear anybody say that Emma Frost is hard. Emma Frost is pretty easy. She's not brain dead, because you do at least have to aim with this character. But still, she's really not that hard. Only tough thing about her is being able to knowing when to use her ult, because you gotta make sure that, because her ult's not even the best at all. I'd say it's probably one of the weaker ones in the tank category. But she's pretty easy. You can probably play her in like probably about 5 games. You can get used to her. Basically, when you master her, she's like very easy to use. But yeah, you need to know when to use her diamond form. Get the combo is super easy with her when her diamond form. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep her in pretty easy. Next up, we have Invisible Woman, and Invisible Woman is probably another pretty easy character. I think that she's gonna be going into pretty easy. Again, all about aiming, but it's not the type of aiming that Hela, Hawkeye, Black Widow have. It's just kind of pretty simple, I'd say. She is very chill with her healing. Obviously, she has passive healing with her shield. Just kind of heals for you. It's pretty chill. Her ult's really easy to use. I'd say that she's pretty easy. Next up is Cheaper Town Hall, aka Iron Fist, and Iron Fist is Iron Fist is pretty easy. I think Hela is definitely harder than this character. He's pretty simple to kind of pick up. Although his ult is not the best, he's pretty simple to pick up and get some pretty decent value out of. It's all about knowing when to use your block and how to get extra shield out of it. His ultimate is not the best, but it's still chill. I think it's pretty easy. Alright, next up we have Iron Man, and I hate playing against Iron Man because it is the most brain dead character ever. His ult is easy to use. His whole kit is easy to use. I don't know what people are saying that he's hard. He's not even hard at all. I'm thinking about putting him in brain dead, but I'm gonna put him in pretty easy. When he's locked in on you, it's unstoppable with the laser. His gamma rays makes it so much easier to use too. I don't know what people are talking about with this character. He is pretty easy to use. Yeah, we're just gonna keep him there. Next up, we have Jeff. Everyone knows Jeff. Everyone loves Jeff. You're gonna see a pattern here, by the way, guys. That I'm not trying to be Necros or anything, but most of the support characters are gonna be on the lower end of difficulty. But yeah, Jeff is pretty easy. His ult can be kind of tough to use, I guess, but it's still pretty easy to use. Knowing when to throw down the bubbles for your teammates can be, I guess, a little bit difficult. But it's pretty easy to survive with this character. He's got some of the best survivability in the game. But yeah, then again, he's not the best healer in the game. So that probably brings him up a little bit, but I'm gonna keep him in pretty easy. Yeah. Next up is one of the hardest characters in the game, Loki. Loki is all about knowing when to get in and get out. His survivability can be insane if you know how to use it. He has to manage so many cooldowns, especially like I think it's a 40 to 45 second cooldown or something on his lamp, which can be insane. His ult, you need to know when to ult, whose ult to use in that situation. Obviously, most of the time you're gonna be picking support ult. Loki's pretty tough to use. I don't know. It definitely took me a while, but I ended up getting lowered on this character. But it definitely took me a while to master this character. I'm gonna put him in hard. I think he's harder than Adam Warlock, and he is the hardest support in the game. One of the hardest characters in the game. Period. Next up is Luna Snow. I'm gonna put her in medium difficulty. I'm gonna put her there because, again, it's all about aiming on your teammates to heal them. But her snowflake definitely makes it a little bit easier because you don't even have to be healing them to actually heal them. You just have to be healing another teammate. Her ult again is pretty simple. Gotta watch out for the Magneto bubble though, or the Magneto ult. Sorry. Um, yeah, it's just kind of depends on the aim. Obviously, I've seen some terrible Luna Snows that just kind of throw because they don't know how to aim with the character. Obviously, yeah, I'm gonna put her in medium difficulty. Not the easiest, not the hardest. Next up, I hate this character. I think Magic is super easy. I don't know what people are talking about. She has one of the easiest combos in the game, just the uppercut, slash, and then melee. It's super easy to use. The only tough part about that combo is actually hitting them with the uppercut, because the hitbox for her seems a little bit wonky at times. That's why I'm thinking that it might be. I'll put her in. I was thinking medium difficulty, but just because of the hitbox and her ult not being the greatest, I'll put her in somewhat hard. But still, I don't think she's anywhere near one of the hardest characters in the game. Yeah. Magneto is pretty tough. Magneto's pretty tough. It's all about managing your cooldowns, just like every other character. You gotta know when to use your shield, because it is on like I think 1 or 2 second like cooldown before the cooldown, if you know what I mean. You can hold up your shield for like 1 to 2 seconds, and then you have to learn when to bubble, who to bubble. His ult can definitely be tough to use. It takes a while to actually master it and be able to kill supports with it. I'm gonna put him in somewhat hard. Yeah, I think that's a perfect spot for him. Next is Mantis, and Mantis is pretty easy. I think her hitboxes are very generous. Most of the time, you're not even gonna be hitting your enemies, and you still hit them anyways for some reason. The hitbox on the sleep is pretty easy. It's pretty chill. It's all about the passive healing. You don't even have to be really like looking at them to heal them. You just have to give them a leaf, and then they're chill for a little bit. It's pretty easy, very simple character. Her ult's pretty easy to use. Just know when to use it. Obviously, just like every other ult. Yeah, I think she's very easy. One of the easier characters in the game. All right, Reed Richards is next, and I think he's pretty easy. I started using this character in comp after he started getting all these buffs, and he is super easy to get into. I'd say that mastering him can be tough, but he's still pretty easy. It's all about knowing when to go inflated mode, knowing when to go big mode or whatever, where you deflect all the damage that's taken to you. His ult can be somewhat tough but as long as you go for their supports, it can be pretty easy to get decent value out of. Yeah, not really too much to say. You need to know how to get inflated mode, when to get out of fights, obviously just like every other character, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty easy. It took me only a few games to get used to. And yeah. Alright, next up is Moon Knight, and I'm putting him in Brain Dead. Obviously, there are a few that don't actually use the Ankh to aim and actually know how to aim. Obviously, there's a few. But most people just kind of put down the Ankh and then make the Ankh do the aiming for them. He's very easy. His ult's pretty easy to use. He's got pretty decent mobility. It's kind of a basic character. I would never wish to anybody actually play this character. I'm sorry if you play Moon Knight. But he's so boring. He's so easy to play. Let's move on. He's going in Brain Dead. Next is Namor, and he should be in Brain Dead, but I'm going to put him in pretty easy. Again, it is auto-aim with his squids, but being able to get value out of his primary fire can be tough. It's actually pretty tough to hit things with it. Knowing when to get out of situations, when to use your immortality ability, for whatever that one's called, can be tough. Yeah, his ult. I mean, his ult can be tough to use too. You need to if you're really good with him, you can kill Luna Snow in her ult, which is actually very important to know. So again, like there's definitely some mastery that you can get into with this character, but I'd say that he's still pretty easy just because of the squids. Next is Penny Parker, and Penny Parker's pretty simple to get the concept of. It's all about placing down your spiders, knowing when to go into your ult, obviously knowing where to put spiders. Make sure to put spiders down on chokes. It's pretty simple. She has a 3-second stun, by the way. That's how easy this character is. There's a 3-second cooldown on a stun that can basically counter almost every ult in the game. It's kind of crazy. Her ult's pretty simple. It's just kind of you run around like a dumbass. But her ult, you do die a lot in her ult, so watch out for that. But I'd say that she's still pretty simple. You just kind of smash buttons in her ult. I'm gonna put her in pretty easy. One of the easier tanks in the game, for sure. Next up is Psylocke, and Psylocke's medium difficulty. Again, just like all the other ones, you need to know when to get in and when to get out. You're gonna want to try to get 1 to 2 picks in the back line, but just knowing when to get out is very important. Knowing when to go invisible. Her combo is really simple. It's all about just using her primary fire, using her shurikens, and then recalling them back, then going in for the dash. It's pretty simple overall. Yeah, shout out to the Gooners out there with the Gooner skin. Mad respect. Yeah, but we're gonna put her in medium difficulty. Again, I don't think she's that hard at all. It'll only take like a few games to get used to. Alright, next we have Rocket. Rocket is not brain dead, but I will be putting him in pretty easy. He can be tough because the mobility isn't as good as it used to be in prior seasons. I think his cooldown on his dash is way longer now. Knowing when to get out, when to go on to walls, when to get out of situations, where to put your respawn beacon, where to put your ultimate, because that can be very important. Because that enemy team's just gonna be going right for your ultimate if you don't put it in the right spot. Again, I'm gonna be putting him in pretty easy. He's not one of the harder characters, obviously, but he can be tough in situations. And I don't know if it's just me, but it's a little bit tough to use his actual primary fire. Like for shooting enemies. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's like something's up with like the tracking in it. But it can be tough, but if you get used to that, you're gonna be getting tons of value out of it because it does so much damage. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting him in pretty easy. Next up is Wanda, absolutely brain dead. She is the easiest character in the game. Every time I die to her, I just have to say how easy of a character she is. You don't even have to aim, bro. This is insane. I hate her with a passion. And now that she got the Doctor Strange team up, it's just she's so much better now. It's so annoying to use. Her ult isn't that hard to use, even though it's not that good. It's just kind of trash. But still, she's still brain dead. I hate her so much. Now let's move on, and this one is going to be a hot take. Hot take alert, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to get your pitchforks and your torches out. We have Spider-Man next, and Spider-Man is not hard at all. I don't know why Necros or whatever is trying to tell you that this character's hard. He is not hard at all. His combo is super simple, especially if you have the Venom team up, which luckily will be going in the next patch, which I'm so glad. Really, the only hard part about this character is hitting your opponent with your sling, with your spider sling. As long as you can do that, then you got the whole combo down, basically. It's all about hitting them with the spider sling, then going into them, I guess, whatever, and then hit them with the uppercut, and it's that simple. This character is not hard at all. Obviously, there's some like techniques that obviously Necros and all the pros do use, but you don't need those at all. Like pulling people off the edge is not really that important in my opinion. Being able to just pick up this character and master him pretty easily, I would put him in medium difficulty. I'm sorry. That's a hot take for sure. But I'm sorry, he is pretty simple of a character. I don't know what kind of propaganda people are putting on me. Tell me that this character's hard. He is not hard at all. Next. Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl's brain dead. Everyone knows that Squirrel Girl's mains just sit in the back the entire time, lobbing up random shots, and they get thousands of kills somehow. Everyone knows this character's easy. It literally homes in on enemies. How hard can this character be? She's the second easiest character in the game, other than Wanda. She's stupid, and I hate her too. Like, who the fuck actually plays this character? Do you not like fun or something? Like, I don't know. Just me, I guess. But everyone knows that this character is easy as fuck. Next, we have Star-Lord, and Star-Lord is pretty easy. I'm gonna be honest, his ult is an aimbot. He's really simple. It's all about aiming, but the aiming is pretty generous with his hitboxes. Only time that it can actually be pretty tough, and you need to know what you're doing is when to flip to get a reload in. But that's really it. Honestly, this character is not hard at all. Basically, anybody can pick him up and do pretty well with him, I'd say. Next up is Storm, and Storm is somewhat hard. I don't know if it's just me. Obviously, she does have a simple ability where she just kind of auto aims on the people with the lightning or whatever it's called. But I don't know if it's just me, but it can be tough to actually aim with this character. Her ult's not the hardest, but I'll still put her in somewhat hard. Knowing when to give your teammates speed, when to give them damage boost can be very important, and it can be tough knowing when to do that. But yeah, she goes in somewhat hard. Next up is Punisher, just brain dead, completely brain dead character. This one is all about aiming, but it's just super simple of the character. You're basically just playing Call of Duty. Not really much to say about it. His other abilities don't really matter that much. His turret literally has splash damage, so you don't even have to really aim. You just have to aim near them and it'll hit them. His ult has auto aim. Again, this character's brain dead. Let's move on. Next up we have The Thing, and The Thing is pretty easy. I recently started playing this character a lot, and he is so good. He's so simple. It's all about going in, using your I don't know what it's called, your dash in, I guess, whatever. Getting a few kills. You get 50 HP off the haymakers every time, so might as well just be spamming that. Spam that LT or whatever you're on PlayStation and PC. Then get out with your LB, with your leap. And it's super simple to use. Very simple character. His ult isn't hard to use at all. Let's move on. One of the easier tanks in the game, for sure. I think he actually might be the easiest tank in the game, now that I think about it. Next up we have Thor, and Thor is somewhat hard. Is he hard? I'm gonna keep him somewhat hard, but know that he's very close to getting a bump up to hard. Pause. Thor is tough. You need to know when to use all of his cooldowns. He has, I think, 4 or 5 cooldowns to manage. His ult's not the easiest to use. Obviously, again, Thor Force is the main opportunity, the main part of this character. Excuse me. Knowing how to get the Thor Force, knowing to savor it in times of need. I'd say that he's pretty tough of a character, honestly. He doesn't really have any team ups that make that are super like make it super easy. I'm gonna keep him in somewhat hard. Next up, we have Venom. Venom's medium difficulty, I'd say. Not hard, not easy. Just kind of get in, get a pick or two, get out. Rinse and repeat that the entire game. His ult can be tough at times. You kind of need to know how to use his ult, but again, he's not that hard. Just kind of get a pick or two. Use your overshield, which gives like 1 billion health for some reason, and then get out. It's basically rinse and repeat that the entire game. I don't know how you guys play this character. He's so boring. Let's move on. Now next, Bucky. This is my main, obviously. I'm not gonna be biased. He's medium difficulty. All about aiming. All about knowing when to use your abilities to reload your gun. His ult can be tough to use. But it's not the hardest, especially if they have Loki on their team. It's gonna be super simple to use against Loki. I'm not gonna be biased or anything. Say that he's one of the hardest characters in the game. He's just kind of medium difficulty. Yeah, basically the whole character is about knowing when to use your abilities to help reload your gun. That's really it. Not that hard. But I don't know, I've seen some people do pretty bad with Bucky, so maybe I should bring him a little bit higher. But I'm gonna keep him medium difficulty. Yeah. And then lastly, we have Wolverine. And Wolverine is... I used to think that he was so hard. But he's really not that hard at all. I don't know what I was thinking. He's medium difficulty. Maybe even pretty easy, but I'm gonna keep him in medium difficulty because he has a lot of counters. The Thing counters him. Magneto counters him with his bubble. Penny, no. Groot, he's very good against Groot. Venom probably counters him or something. Venom can get out of situations. This character's all about kidnapping the enemy tank, and if they have a Thing on their team, you might as well just swap. Or an Emma Frost. Emma Frost is super good against him. It's all about kidnapping their tank. Getting your rage up to do as much damage as possible. His ult can be tough to use, but still it's not that tough to use at all. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it in medium difficulty, and that is the list. Guys, let me know what you guys think of this tier list. Who do you guys think is the hardest? Tell me that I'm a dumbass for putting Spider-Man in here, and I will beat you endlessly. Because he is not that hard at all. I don't know what kind of propaganda is going on telling me that Spider-Man is hard to play. I literally anybody can play this character and drop like 50. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, this is the tier list. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. I got a few more videos coming out soon, and that is all. Peace out, everybody.